In this video, we will see basics of routing in action for Angular 2. We are aiming for this output. When the user clicks on Home component is displayed. When the user clicks on Employee, the employee detail component is displayed. Let's see how we will code this. First, create a basic Angular 2 project in Plunker. Now we will create our two components first. Let's create Home component in file home.ts. Now the Home component, all it does is displays text in red. So when the user clicks on Home link, this text will be displayed in red. Now let's create employee detail component in employee.ts file. It displays text in yellow. When the user clicks on employee link, this text will be displayed in yellow. Now let's write code for our app.ts file, where we will see how to display each component when user clicks a link as shown in beginning of this video. First thing we are going to do is code the links inside this nav tag using the anchor tag. First anchor tag will be for home and next one will be for employee detail. We add a router link directive to anchor tag and bind it to a template expression that returns an array of route link parameters. The router ultimately resolves that array into a URL and a component view. So in our case, the first anchor tag has the property router link bound to the route named home. The second anchor tag has the property router link bound to the route name employee. Now here is the router outlet tag. The router outlet specifies the area on the page where the router will render one of our components. So if I move it to some other place, then the output will be displayed to the new place. So it's important to know this tag. It's called router outlet. Now let's look at the route config. This is the heart of routing in Angular 2. The name in the router link will be mapped to the component here, and this will be the path that the link will be converted to. As you can see here, name employee is same name mentioned in router link, and it will call the employee detail component, and the actual URL will be /employee. Same thing for the name. Home will be mapped to home component, and in the path we will see only a slash, which means it's a default path. Now we have added few directives like router link and router outlet, so we need to include the router directives here. All the annotated route config can be used if we use router providers. Now let's click on index.html. Most routing applications should add a base element just after the head tag to tell the router how to compose navigation URLs. If the app folder is the application root, as it is for our application, set the href value exactly as shown here. Also, we have to include the routing libraries in index.html. And before we see the output, here we have two corrections to do. And now we can see the output in the preview window. Clicking on home takes you to the home component, and clicking on employee takes you to the employee detail component.